Bizarre appearance, but a natural feel. Rugged, unconventional, in a tactical configuration for a classical rifle. Hi, I'm Six Snipes, and today I'm committing heresy to some of you by beginning a new mini-series on gun guides for another game. There's a special place in my heart for Battlefield 4, lots of shenanigans, vehicles, and most importantly to me, guns. The title features a bunch of weapons plenty of other shooters don't, so without further ado, today we'll be taking a look at a niche gun I'm a huge fan of and have wanted to cover for a while. This is the Groza, and you're watching Gun Guide. The Groza 1, or else in real life referred to as the OTS-14 Groza, is a Russian special bullpup type rifle built right off the AK platform. Sharing 75% of its identical components with the AKS-74U, designer Valery Telesh, also responsible for the GP25 AK platform grenade launchers, essentially took a stubby AK and put a body kit on it. Originally designed and configured to chamber the 9x3 9mm, same as the AS-Val, this was to be fielded in Chechnya, where Russia was in conflict with a rebelling republic armed with advanced body armor. Despite this, the model we see in-game is actually not the conventional version. By technicality, it is designated the OTS-14-1A model, chambered in 7.62x39 vanilla AK bullets.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So for all intents and purposes, this is literally just a classical wood-furnished AK, but the mag is whack.
What the fuck?
And it certainly makes for an interesting profile, with the odd, almost M16-like carry handle iron sight component creating a very strange but distinctive figure which you won't find in just about any other game. I've yet to encounter this in any other shooter, but I've heard it's in PUBG, so maybe look for it in there. Regardless, adopted by Spetsnaz and other specialist roles within the Russian infantry, this makes for a perfect tactical and practical tool for role-playing the boys from the motherland. Released all the way back in 2015 as part of a small free DLC expansion for the game, the Groza, among other guns, is both free to all players and most notably usable without any weapons progression whatsoever, meaning if you were to buy the game to this day, you can use it as a carbine with any class immediately.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free!
That's pretty good, combined with the fact that this carbine is utterly insane and you've got to take it to the top of the leaderboard with a little practice, knowledge, and a lesson in recoil control. Let's take a look at what makes this so dang effective. First and foremost, the fact that it's throwing any sort of 7.62 at 725 rounds per minute is pretty impressive. The damage output is great, and something else which matters a lot in Battlefield games, the hip-fire spread is relatively small. This means that elimination of hostiles can happen that much faster without having to concentrate and aim down your sights. I also noticed a lot of the guns in this game tend to sort of taper off in terms of rounds after a certain point in automatic fire. In other words, the longer you sustain an auto burst, the more bullets tend to wander regardless of where you're aiming. Unlike other games such as Siege, this makes it difficult to use weapons such as carbines at ranges and is highly intuitive of tap or even short burst firing. More or less, if they're at a certain range, you'll just learn to feather that trigger and eliminate hostiles with slower but more controlled shots, making for a far quicker kill. The Groza, however, tends to suffer from this far less than other carbines, and because of that, it's on the top of my favorites in its class. The range is tight and so is the slick and satisfying reload, not your grandpa's old AKM mag swap either. Fast and deadly, you'll get mags in and out effortlessly, an important asset when you're playing close encounter heavy modes like Team Deathmatch. As for drawbacks, reading through its wiki page for the game, I see some complaints about poor recoil.
Oh shit, William, look! It's a little bit!
If you're a support main like me, you have zero issue fielding guns with high recoil from standing positions, and believe me, having done all of that, this ain't it, chief. Especially having progressed to a competent level of tap firing usage, you'll notice that the recoil really isn't much at all. Worst case scenarios means the hip fire spread can save your life if the gun just jitters too much for you to aim. In terms of other cons, if you do in fact struggle with jello wrist syndrome or crippling arthritis, I can't help you there, and neither will the attachment selection.
Bruh.
See, in terms of grips, there aren't any. Well, the gun comes with its very own integral verti-grip built into the barrel, so sorry if you were looking to feel the good old-fashioned potato aim, but it's not happening here. Nor are any suppressors, because this thing's locked into a compensator and I can't tell you why that is. I don't see any reason why this can't take muzzle attachments, particularly my favorite, the heavy barrel, but I'm not all that hung up on it when again, this gun shoots this good. But the lack of those two categories may seem bummer to a lot of people and is probably why I don't see it fielded more often. No more encouraging is the fact that yes, while you can use any of the optics other guns would, chunkier scopes and even simpler holographics just ride up high on the funky carrier handle and take up the good portion of your screen and therefore field of view.
Look at the top of his head!
For this reason, I seldom field optics. I actually quite like the iron sights and this gun and countless others in the game, but if I am running anything, I'll go with the minimalist Russian Cobra type pseudo crosshair or else the 3.5 magnification PSO1. Otherwise, lasers are virtually always handy or else flashlights for the dark areas of maps.
You really never use these.
However, they are all just niceties. This combined with the fact that skins just look goofy after not coloring the wooden furniture portion of the weapon, most of the footage you'll see here in this video and just me playing in general looks like a naked Groza, something you really wouldn't see me doing with virtually any other gun at all. I fielded this thing in and outside of TDM and I can tell you for a fact that it's fun as all get out wherever you go. Wide open maps and giant city skylines aren't an incredibly insurmountable obstacle for this thing, and while ranged engagements in the game mean a lot more with gigantuan areas like these, the guns get to cover you a good bit of the distance. Meanwhile, the bullpup design intuitive of close quarters really comes through in the more personal engagements, and seeing as you can put just about anyone down with a minimal amount of shots, you'll see a lot of dominance just about anywhere you take it. Ammo economy is not particularly bad either. I find that the 750 is a number which hits a nice sweet spot where there's a staggering rate of fire, but not so much that you're out of ammo all that quickly. One magazine is good enough for a number of kills, and especially when playing support, you really won't be switching off to someone else's kit anytime soon with this. Meanwhile, all these facets of the weapon form the shape of a very effective tool. You can really make some monstrous pushes with this and be an absolute thorn in the side of any enemy squad in the lobby. In terms of loadouts, I like to pair it with my newly acquired and quite sleek Unica 6. I don't need another spray cannon like the Glock, and I find that when a volley of bullets won't kill them, a couple shots from a hand cannon that hits like a truck almost certainly will. Pair this with my also beloved flashbangs and you've got the makings of a highly lethal breach and clear build ready to tackle the people still playing locker deathmatch.
Gotcha, bitch!
That's just about all I have to say about the Groza. Incredibly versatile for something with such little customization. Rough, even harsh drawbacks with the reward of stellar performance in a narrow sort of way. Trend-defying, performance-defining. Everything you could want when you ask for a stellar armament without the hassle of unlocks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I quite like coming back to Battlefield 4 even after all the years it's been, and still proves to be very fun. If you enjoyed this content, maybe check out some of my other videos. There's plenty of these even if they aren't for the same game. I like to see this video pop off because I'm looking to make a couple more after my top 5 favorite carbines in the game, and maybe some more from there. But until then, I'm Six Snipes, this is the Groza 1, and as always, you've all been watching Gun Guide. I'll see you out there on the battlefield.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.